computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Alright, I think I have pretty much everything that I need to get it set up, taken care of. Hello, welcome to stream. It's been a hot minute since I've streamed anywhere, but this is my first stream on YouTube, so this is a bit weird. I'm going from Twitch to YouTube, but thank you for joining. Awesome to have you here. We're going to be playing some Codename Redux, because that's what won on the poll. Codename Redux is literally just Forsaken, but not affiliated with the Forsaken devs. It's a fan game. So it's kind of how I get my Forsaken fix, you could say. I might be, like, a little bit addicted. But, yeah. I wanted to do something for 300 subscribers. But I've been sick, and you probably can still hear it in my voice. I'm, like, still getting over whatever cold I've had. But, yeah. Now that we're at 400 subscribers, I figured, why not? So, yeah, stream time. Yep, okay, there we go. And let's get some gaming audio in here. Yeah, okay. Alright, I'm gonna turn off the lo-fi, because it's gonna get a bit weird with the game music. Got chat on that monitor, I've got game over here, cool. Cool. Hi guys! Welcome in. Welcome to Codename Redux. I should not.
I just joked the band director. I got a brand new saxophone.
Taking a sip of Dr. Pepper. Hell yeah. Please don't judge my gameplay. Oh no, I forgot to switch off Noli. So especially don't judge my gameplay. I am not a Noli main. I've been giving him a try. Hello, little Telemon. Yes, it's Double Trouble mode. From what I've observed about Double Trouble mode, it happens every event. So I just happen to be unfortunate. Unfortunately, with Double Trouble, you kind of have to fight this with. God damn, this is loud. I'm gonna turn that down a tick. Yeah, so Double Trouble mode is weird. You get less time to be killer. Are we doing this? We're doing this. Okay. Yeah. Well, damn. Okay, I don't think we're gonna win this anyway. Is that any better? I turned it down in OBS itself. If need be, I can turn up my mic too. I'm gonna turn up my mic just in case too. Any better? Cool. Cool. Yeah, so, Double Trouble's weird. I should, before I forget again, I don't like Double Trouble, but Codename Redux has a Double Trouble thing. And it doesn't tell you when it's throwing you into a Double Trouble round, so you really just kind of get thrown into the deep end. Yeah, I pulled the Illumina first try. Alright. Jesus. Elliot scared the hell out of me. Oh, hello. That's not kosher. I hear a John, but I do not see there's a John. Hey. Come on. God damn it. Alright. You're gonna see a lot of whiffs. I promise I'm good at the game. Somewhat. But whiffing. Oh, whoa. Shed stuck! Shed stuck! Ooh. First round of the day, and I'm just not. I am not a pro gamer. We doing this? You trapping that? Okay. No. Yeah, clips are weird. I'll have to go back through and, like, make shorts. 'Cause YouTube doesn't have, like, a clipping thing like Twitch does. That would have been a damn good clip, though, you're right. Can I actually do a gen? That N7 is teleporting for no apparent reason. It's a waste of a teleport. I promise I'm better at the game than this. The minute I turn on stream, I lose all my skill. That's not a good sound. That was really close to me. Alright. Oh, hi! Speaking of really close to me. Ooh. You gonna come after me, John? Yeah, okay. That's what I figured. I'm not gonna survive this, I don't think, but that's okay. Hello, noob. Get away to get my chicken. If you hear weird white noise in the background, that is my air conditioner. It's quite loud. There's nothing I can really do about that, but it is what it is. I live in a shitty studio apartment and I have an in-wall air conditioner and it's just not great, but that is okay. We do what we gotta do, you know? I fucked myself over. Quite hard, actually. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Get a generator, or two done. Was I the only person that did any gens that round? Yeah. Okay. We got a noob and two N7s, and none of them have done shit. Oh man, that was a little bit of chat lag. I just saw your messages come through. That's fascinating. That's gonna be interesting to get used to, because chat's pretty instant on Twitch. It seems to not be like that on YouTube. Stop. I triggered Unstoppable. I am so glad that oh no. I'm so glad that the round ended there. Oh man. That would have been bad. I don't know. chat lag is very common for smaller YouTubers. Yeah, that makes sense. We can't expect the best for someone who's not YouTube's golden boy like Markiplier. Can you leave me the fuck alone? Template Town. That's a wall. Whoop! I hit 2 people with that? Huh? Okay. Why are y'all quit congregating? What is happening here? I feel bad for that 2x2. They just kind of got executed. What are you doing? Are we really doing this right now, noob? Alright, I'm gonna leave you alone. Why are there so many 007 and 7s? You're gonna pop a clone. I just have a feeling. You move like a clone, but I know you're not. You are a clone. I'm stupid, I'm dumb. I didn't see them. It was even like, you move like a fucking clone. What are you doing? What are you doing? You just popped slate skin, and it's not showing the texture. Cool. Shed leg ski. I respect the pun game. I respect it a lot. I love getting stuck on shit. I swear to God, if you're a clone, you don't move like a clone. What are you two? Hello? I'm baffled. Alright. Why are there so many in 7s? Kill that one. Oh, God. Alright. Where did that noob go? That's a gen. Nobody's up here. There you are. I'm leaving a 100% N7 for last. I should not be doing that. I got plenty of time. Hey, gamer. You have clones. Yep, there it goes. Alright, I saw you. There you are. Hello? That was not... I was thinking they were gonna double to the left. Go, my Jerry's! What are you doing? Oh, the Jerry disrespect! I almost feel bad for that noob. I challenge myself plenty. I typically can handle leaving an N7 for last. But for the first real killer round of the day, I typically like to just take it easy on myself. Okay. It's a double chopper. Oh, 2 Jasons. I'm a little bit scared. I think we'll be fine. I can see. Why is it all 7 and 7? Fucking got the entirety of Team Cool Kid up in here. Baka. There's another Shedletsky who is just standing here. I should not be shocked. That's pretty typical Shedletsky antics. Unfortunately. It makes me angry. I am a death before dishonor kind of Shedletsky. Ah, hi! So I turned invisible by using the Ghostwalker. In Codename Redux, Shedletsky has 4 swords that he can cycle through. It's a gamble, so right now I'm using the Illumina. And the Illumina has a lunge that I just missed, because I misjudged. One of the swords is the Ghostwalker, and when you get a hit with the Ghostwalker, it stuns and makes you invisible for a portion of the time. That was just bad, by the way. That was really bad running on my part. Excuse me. I was running while talking, and that's never good. Redux is pretty fun. It's jank sometimes, but that's really just like that is Forsaken fan games. Oh no, they fell for the club. Oh, there they go. Forsaken fan games tend to be pretty jank. Forsaken itself was pretty jank too, so that it's kind of part of the course. But yeah, Redux is pretty fun. It's a pretty solid. Like my group of friends and I have been playing it pretty consistently, like every day. Excuse me. We've been playing it pretty consistently for like every day, though I only have 2 days now in the game. But yeah, it makes me happy as a Shedletsky main to have the other swords. Just having the linked, it made sense for Forsaken, but it gets a bit tired. I mostly, if I have the Illumina on me, that's the sword that I tend to go with, because the Illumina has a lunge, and it subspaces you, so it stuns, it subspaces, and it has a lunge, which is really, really, really awesome. But to compensate for that, it has a shorter stun time. So if there's a bunch of sentinels in one lobby, the shorter stun time is almost abysmal, but it's still handy enough to get yourself and your teammates out of a bind. Oh yeah, I pulled the Illumina, yippee! Yahoo! We're killer. They're killer. No, I love Shedletsky. I love Shedletsky. I milestone forward Shedletsky before I start. Shed. I milestone forward Shedletsky before I stopped playing Forsaken. Does this look like the face of a man who hates Shedletsky? I literally, one of my names is literally Shed. It's the one I most commonly go by nowadays, actually. Now the guy, John James Shedletsky III, the actual person, I don't like him. But I'm not going to get into why I don't like him on a stream. I will get on a soapbox, and I will become really annoying about why I dislike that man. Is it? Is it really that hard to tell? It was really funny. My friend Dicebag was actually the person who introduced me to Forsaken. Completely unknowing that I, like, back when I started playing Roblox in 2013, God, 2013, I played Spoth, and I was, like, pretty constant on Spoth. When I went to go play Forsaken, and she was like, hey, so, there's this character, I think you'd really like him, he's a great starting character, his name is Shedletsky, and I was like, oh? Shedletsky, you say? And she was like, yeah, he's got a sword, and you stun the killers, and it's, like, really simple and easy, and I grabbed on to Shedletsky and didn't let go, and she was not expecting me to do that, but the autismed. The autism I forgot I had autismed. ...2013. Yep, I'm old. I've been playing Roblox since 2013. I was there for the cool kid hacks. Fun fact. One of them. That was cool. It was weird. It was really, really, really weird. Yes, I know, typically when I mention the autism TM, people are like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of fucking sense. Man! That's unnecessary, guest. God damn. It's quite hard to tell sarcasm, especially through text. Yes. What was that? Why am I protecting you? You got some major BM, my guy. Probably, yeah, I was about to say they're probably gonna throw out an entanglement. Whoop, Mass Effect, ooh! Are we playing this game? We're playing this game. Okay. Ah, I was hoping I'd get out of that hitbox range. Cool. Before we all moved over to codename Redux, by we I mean my friend group and I, we played a game called Reworkin that no longer exists. Sad face. I'm fairly certain the Forsaken team killed it, unfortunately, because it had a lot of Forsaken assets in it, and like down to they had Hacklord, and I got Hacklord for the second time in my life. I miss Hacklord. Hacklord was my favorite 1X skin, but it was pretty fun. They had the same sword switching mechanic, except it wasn't a gamble like Redux is. It's double trouble. Oh, it's a double 1X round. Oh no, on a template town too. Oh man. I'm suddenly concerned that we might not win this. I was like, oh yeah, we got a fair chance. Double 1X is fun. Oh, it's template town. Did you already pop your Jerry's? Seriously? Off of the Shedletsky that left? This noob is just standing here. I love gambling. So can I take a guess and say that you probably like chance? I don't know where that noob went. There they are. Hi, noob. I zeroed out of my stamina. I wasn't looking at it. There we go. Ayo! Milestone 4. Let's go! I'm so excited. Unfortunately, the milestone skins in Redux don't really look different, but I'll throw on M4. Just to celebrate. It is the now third time that I have. I don't know. It was just a guess. Just a little bit of a guess. I don't know. Maybe it was the gambling. I don't know. I don't really know what tipped me off. I clapped and it hurt because I clapped wrong. I was excited. I got too excited. Hello, Elliot. Yeah, alright. You go. Okay, so John's over there. Who is John chasing? They don't have enough chance content on AO3. You're right. It's quite sad. They don't have enough. It makes me sad. They don't have enough Bright Sky on AO3 either. Which, like, I know I'm an enjoyer of the straight chip. I also enjoy Buildermon though. I enjoy Buildermon quite a lot. And Chicken Burger. I don't even kind of, I ship Polly between N7 and Shed and Bright Eyes. And a little bit of Builderman sometimes, on occasion. Sometimes we gotta enjoy the token straights. I don't even headcanon Shed as a token, as straight though. Ah! That's unfortunate. What is going on with John? What is happening to him? Just stealthed his way into that Polly. That's a really good way to put that. And Seven stealth his way into that Polly. That's great. I love that. Okay. Cool. What? Okay. Did the time run out? I wasn't paying attention. Or did they leave? I'm killer again. I am killer again. I wish I had this dance. I would join them. Tenna. You want to see something funny? If I can get my bird ass over there faster. Yeah. Yeah, see, the milestone skins, they're literally just base 1x. They didn't... Redux doesn't really have milestone skins, at least that are finished. They have the templates for them. John has all 4 milestone skins, and they're pretty cool. I don't... That was just bad on my part. That was also just bad on my... See, every time I put on a milestone skin, I fuck up. We're gonna go after the 2 squishies. I want my reflection of hatred. I think that Telemon was really skinny because of how high a god's metabolism would be before he became Shedletsky and became human. He didn't realize he couldn't eat as much as he wanted. I think that's a really cool headcanon. I headcanon Shedletsky / Telemon to be a shapeshifter. So he chooses, because he feels more comfortable that way, to present the way that he does. It's a lot deeper than that, but he still eats too much chicken, yes. As does mine. What am I doing? I said I wanted my reflection of hatred. Well, I guess I'm not getting my reflection of hatred. That's okay. Got, rage-fueled bloodlust. Ah, Shedletsky. You must die. I am 1x. I speak for the 1x. What? Yeah. Oh yeah. You know what? I put on Voidbound. It's been a while since I've used Voidbound. I don't know, my Shedletsky is very, very, very OCified, so he's quite different from how most people would portray him. Excuse me. Yes, you can steal Shedletsky's shapeshifting. I want to see more Shedletsky shapeshifter headcanons out there, because it's not a common headcanon. I was locked out. I also always just get a bit scared when I see a Diva John. So, in Redux they moved Diva from being a 1X skin to a John skin, I think, just to avoid Forsaken coming after them. This is what the beanbag inside of my head looks like. There's a lot more to the shapeshifting and why he does it, and like his life before Robloxia, because my Shedletsky and all of the like main four, Deucecar, Builderman. Me with Eye Trapped though, he is French and he is a crossdresser and he only wears blue tops and green bottoms. I love it! I love it! Yeah, so my Shedletsky has like a whole, not just my Shedletsky, but like Deucecar and Builderman and Doombringer all have a whole interconnected like story. Like they all grew up together and it's a whole thing. There was like a world before Robloxia. It's a lot to go into. And it's actually, I'm running a Minecraft SMP. And it's partially the, hello, that's a brick! That's a cool kid! It's actually the lore, mostly, for that Minecraft SMP. Thank you, Elliot! If I can take the bucket pizza. Need Doombringer to bring me doom. Hell yeah. My Doombringer's a grumpy old man. He just wants to live on his farm in his cabin and take care of his crops and really doesn't want anything to do with being an admin anymore, but he does it out of obligation. Him and the rest of the other admins really got tired of being admins after centuries of being gods. At least, the main four. But... Hi. I knew you were gonna... Damn it! Why did I dodge into that? I don't feel like that should have hit you. George Washington, no, he's not a racist. Damn it. I was hoping they would join in. Where are you going? Mafi? Moth? Don? They've just lost themselves this LMS. Cool Kid does not do well with losing survivors. Yeah, that's game. That's unfortunate. No, Doombringer is not George Washington. He's just a big dude who wants to have a normal life. But unfortunately, him and all of the other admins didn't get to have a normal life. So... You want to hear about Chedletsky now, though? Ooh, where do I even start with that? He's so OC-ified and, like, so fanon. Ooh, oh man. You are asking for an info dump about something that has so much lore. And actual world building for a different world that existed before Robloxia. So, like, it's a lot. It's a lot. Are you sure? Yeah, I'll just walk my dog. I'll just walk my dog. What are you doing, Guardian Angel? Ah, damn it. Fuck. Alright, I think we threw that at the same time. So I threw my slash and they threw their brick. Fuck! I was hoping that pizza would stay for a little bit longer. I'm anticipating a walk speed, so I need to not keep going in a straight line. Yep, there's that walk speed I was anticipating. Summoning minions. Fuck. Alright, I need my health back. Thank you! Do you know how to drop a target? I suppose you wouldn't, because I'm on lower health than anyone else. Even the Elliot is a point higher than me. Oh, that's bad. This is very bad. I have not been able to get away to eat my chicken. I will begin bawling. Whoa. I was hoping you would walk into that. Alright, well. Okay, so before I begin explaining Chedletsky and like my lore for him and the other admins, I need to explain the world that I have built. It's called Codexa, and it existed as a world before Robloxia that was split into like 4 different factions. So we had where Chedletsky was from, which was the Scabbard Hills, and he lived in a town called Sword Hill Grove. And then we have where Dusakar is from, which was the Codecasters Forest, and Dusakar is from, like, a guild of mages. And then we have the Innovatia Flats, where Builderman is from, and he is from a town, a city, like a big innovative city. That's like what they do. That is where all of the infrastructure for Codexa comes from. And we have, what did I name Doombringer's fucking place? How am I forgetting that? Hold on. Where is it? Where did I put any of that? Crystal Mountains. Doombringer was raised in the Crystal Mountains. And they all met through each other. So Bilderman and Shedletsky met when Shed was like 12. And through Bilderman, Shed met everyone else. And they all had like grown up together and been friends. It's like a whole thing. But Shedletsky was born into a family of sword fighters that were well known, and they were all Nephilim. And in Codexa, Nephilim were seen as harbingers of the end times. It's like a religious thing. Oh, I have to log in. I will continue after this match. A wild Dusakar player? Oh no, Dusakar! I was gonna leave you alone, buddy. Fuck. Alright, well I can't afford to leave you alone, because you're on lowest health, and I need kills. We don't have a lot of time. I'm sorry, Deuce. Alright. God damn! Hello, Golden Shed. What was that? Stop. No. Okay, so Shed was born into a family of sword fighters that were like really well known, and to kind of go along with the Telemon theme, they all have different names, but they are mostly called by Aeacus, Focus, like that whole myth. And Shed was born as Telemon. And they were murdered, and Shed was 8 years old, by a close family friend by the name of Vera Steelburn. Vera Steelburn. And Shed didn't see it happen. He was told by his father to go hide. So he got to hear it happen, and she decided, since she couldn't find him, when she did find him, to take him under her wing as her apprentice. And because Shed's family was murdered, she ended up being considered, like, the best sword fighter. This is gonna trigger Unstoppable, but it stopped the spikes. It's fine. This is fine. This is fine. This is okay. It is incredibly extensive, I warned you. Incredibly extensive and very, 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 very fanon. But TLDR, Vera was not the greatest person, and Shed grew up in not the greatest living conditions. So he didn't ever go to school. Literally was forced to train day in, day out, 24/7, 365. And that's what made him, like, such a strong sword fighter, but he also built his own values and became, like, a very honorable person. And the beginning of Robloxia comes about because a war happens. Code is like magic in this world that I have built. And it is a very valuable resource. So a war breaks out over control of the code, pretty much. The code of the universe. And unfortunately, this war causes Codexa to corrupt. And through prophecy things, TM, Shed and the other 3 admins survive through the collapse of their world. And there's like a whole other thing that leads to Shed becoming divine. Like unlocking divinity. There's a whole thing that leads to all of them unlocking their divinity, and through that they end up surviving. Right next D&D campaign. I would love to, except I'm terrible at writing D&D campaigns. Fun fact: there's just like there's a time constraint on them, and I'm bad at writing under a time constraint. I've had a year to develop this. I have considered turning this into a fanfiction, though. You gave me time to heal. That heal has now been wasted, but that's okay. That's not good. I'm gonna be the fucking killed. Yeah, no. So it's a whole very in-depth thing, and it leads to like them becoming gods and Robloxia being created. So like the creation of 2x2, because 2x2 is a part of this. And there's like whole lore things. There's a portion of Shed's life where he's Telemon, but he's fucking miserable. He hates it. Yeah, do you think that would make a good fanfiction? I don't know. My friends have told me it would, but I love my friends. I love my friends, and I know that they would tell me the truth, but it means different things when it comes from people outside. Would be such sauce. I have considered it. Like doing audio read releases. I do have an AO3, so it's worth it, I guess. I don't know. I might. I have to get my thoughts together and like pour it into a fan. It would be a long fucking fanfic. That Elliot is standing on a house, and I just wasted both of those. Stop. Alright, if you're just gonna sit there and fucking sandbag the team, I guess I get a free kill. Read a fanfic that was over 350k words. Holy shit! Ooh, that was good stun. That was a real good stun. I'm fairly certain they just hit me with either the Link or the Dark Heart, I couldn't tell. Good dodge. Alright, Builderman, where you at? There you are. Ignore how terrible that was. Where? Fuck it, go my cherries. Where Builderman? Where David? There you are. Lag is so bad. I'm sorry. I don't even think the stream is lagging that bad. It's... YouTube is telling me I got excellent quality, and, OBS says I'm like 20 frames below what I need to be. I'm running at like 40 frames per second, but lag really is just bad. I appreciate you being here regardless of the lag, though. Hopefully this doesn't get me copyrighted. Oh, you're in a desert? Okay. That makes sense. Gotta love those arid regions. We have 2 whole concurrent viewers. Holy shit! I'm not used to having viewers. Alright. So, I think it's... Did I see that correctly? It's only in a cool kid. You were gonna... Yeah, I knew you were gonna pop up Void Rush! Wild Hattie player. Ah, I'm mad that hit. I did kind of walk into it. You want to walk speed so bad it makes you look stupid. There you go. How'd I know? Thanks for the dispenser, Builderman. It's not gonna help me much. What are you two doing? Okay. Well, I'm in the fucking trenches, and the guests are over here playing a saxophone. Not shocking. Chicken shit. Genuinely! So Guest 666 was in, Reworkin, and Reworkin had, like, really, really, really bad, balancing. So they somehow managed to make Guess 666 even worse in Reworkin. Which wasn't great. They also don't have Nosferatu, which is fantastic. I say that, but I left Forsaken before Nosferatu released. However, Reworkin had Nosferatu. I would play Desolation, which used to be Forsaken Sandbox, but there's so much in Desolation that it like overwhelms my brain. Like, there are so many new survivors and so many new killers, and it's just... dispensers in the wild are helpful. Killers will usually spend. Yeah, that's true. It is a good distraction. It gets you EXP in the end. So I hear a Noli. You also don't have to worry about fake generators in Redux, which is great. I hated the fake generator mechanic. That's not fun. Oh, hey, look, a Noli. Place down my stuff and do gens. I thought I saw Noli go up here, but I guess not. I'm gonna do this gen so nobody else can come up here and have an excuse to camp. This is a very, very, very popular camping spot. Ooh, uh-oh. I might be the only one left alive. That's gonna smart tomorrow. Alright. Guest! Come on. Yes, leave me alone. Or leave the... I hate implanted Nova. That's not good. You could have ping-ponged me. I'm just falling for their tricks. Yeah, that got me killed. Damn it. I don't know, I guess like with that generator up there, 9 times out of 10 when I go up there and there are people camping and the generator hasn't been done, they will hop on the gen to act like they've been doing the gen, when really all they've been doing is fucking sitting there dancing, playing their flute or saxophone or California girlsing or whatever. I don't... It's stupid. It's so dumb. And then they loop you around the house. Which, like, I guess looping is a valid strategy. It works. I hate looping. I hate doing it, and I hate going against loopers. That's what I was hoping would happen. If I died, it seemed like that guest was, pretty good at running. Which doesn't spell good things for my round, but that's okay. I think we Fahrenheit. I think we Fahrenheit. There's supposed to be a Regretivator update today, which is awesome. I think Pest's boss fight is today. Why'd I stop expositioning? That's a good question. I got locked out. Hey, hello. I'm just seeing those come through. Why didn't you clone? Why did I do that? I don't know, maybe because the end game survivor or read throws me off a little bit. You are a good runner. This is gonna be fascinating. Fascinating. LMS. Never mind, I take it all back. I am so sorry for what I did to that guest. Yeah. Alright. So why did I stop expositioning? I locked in. And then I got talking about other shit. I don't even remember where I left off. So, I think I left off end of Codexa. I think that's where I left off. We're just gonna sit here and, like, talk for a minute. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna go AFK really quick. And, yeah, I will be right back. I won't be very long. That's actually a really good question. What killer in Survivor is most annoying to go against? That's a great question. Before I go AFK, Survivor-wise, if there is a really, really, really good Dusakars who know what they're doing are so annoying. I have a friend who is a Dusakar main. They are the person that I base my Dusakar off of. They're like the most, I love this. She is like the most annoying Dusakar in the world, and it's great. I love people who know how to play Dusakar, but I hate them at the same time. Most annoying killer is Slasher / Jason because of the hitboxes and just how bad they are. But yeah, that's a really good question. Yep, I'm gonna go AFK really quick, and I will be right back. Alright, it is exposition time. Excuse me. Friend must have so much honor to be based off of a rare friend car. She is, my friend is a really, really, really cool person. And their portrayal of Dusakar is, like, literally, when I think of Dusakar, I think of her portrayal of them. So, like in the Vampire Shedletsky, the bits that I did as Dusakar, the fucking Slowpokes and the Jonathan, what the fuck are you doing? Those were both very heavily based off of how my friend portrays Deuce. Their Dusakar has a very dry sense of humor. And isn't really much the person to joke around, but when they do, it's always sarcastic and goofy. It's just a really great portrayal of Dusakar, so I kind of stole that for my OCO-fied Deuce. And in fact, they actually play Deuce in my Minecraft server, which is awesome. Yep. So, exposition time. So, yeah, I left off, end of Robloxia. There's end of Codexa, there's a war that ends the whole world. And, through this war, the world, the code that, like, binds the world together starts to corrupt, and the world starts to break down. But all the while, the war is still continuing, because people gonna be people about it. Shed fought in the war as a soldier, and then was just like, why is this happening? This is so stupid, and started a rebellion. Along with the other three. So they all have this, like, rebellion that they start against both sides of the war, just trying to end it before the world ends, and unfortunately they aren't successful in that. It all really kind of comes to a head in Sword Hill Grove, Shed's town, on the ruins of his old family home, where him and his mentor, Vera, have a battle, and he ends up killing her after being granted divinity, which all four of them were the night previous. So this is all, like, it's all very quick for them. And they were granted divinity by the gods of this world, because those gods were going to cease to exist, and they acknowledged that there needed to be deities for the next world, and a new world needed to be built. And the four admins were the people to do it. There's like this whole religious prophecy surrounding the end of the world, and how Nephilim, like Shed, are the harbingers of it. They are the sign that the world is going to end. And there's a prophecy of a warrior, a mage, a builder, and a lawman that survive the end of Codexa and build a world anew. And that's who they are. When Robloxia begins, they have been sitting in this, like, white nothingness for God knows how long. Kind of just going a little bit insane from isolation. Nobody is left. Nobody has survived. Other than they managed to somewhat salvage Bilderman's brother Dale. But even he's not really fully there. He's kind of in this state of half corruption and is like floating in between life and death. So they are the only ones left. And after a while of being in that white void, Telamon and Dusakar had been working together to try and find some way to spark something somehow, to create anything. And that is when 2x2 is created. 2x2 being the alpha brick of the universe. They aren't personified yet, but when they come into existence, there's this, like, Big Bang moment, and the beginning of Robloxia is created. And from there, Svoth is created, and the Doomspire is created. Dusakar has this thing called the Brick-Built Spire, which is where they have their, like, library, and Bilderman creates Roblox HQ. And it all just kind of grows from there. And they live their lives out as deities. All of them hate it. Every single one of them hates it. Because they were just people. They didn't want this. They didn't want divinity. They didn't want to be gods, but now they are. So eventually they start hiring on more admins who are given, like, lesser divinity. Dale does not connect to John Doe. No. John Doe and Jane Doe are their own people. In this universe, Telamon is the creator of people. So his like, sphere as a god is, like, life, light, flame, and swords. And they were his first creations. They're kind of the, I guess, Adam and Eve. Not really. But they were his first creations, and they are the first sentient NPCs. So, no. Dale ends up partially healing from his corruption. Not really, though. And that ties into, like, Elliot. Elliot is Dale's child. But that's later down the line. So, yeah. After, like, John and Jane are created and they've started with people, later down the line, they start hiring on new admins. All the while, Telemon's kind of isolating himself a little bit. He is dealing with all of the trauma that he experienced throughout his life that he never was able to really work through. And it's all hitting him all at once. And he's isolating himself. And in isolating himself, he's becoming a kind of cruel, sadistic, and greedy god, almost. You know, there are sword fight on the heights. There are tournaments on the heights that happen all the time, and he's a part of it, but he doesn't really... He's not connected with Robloxia yet. This is not his world yet. Much as he loves his creations, and he tries his best, he just doesn't connect yet. And eventually, there comes a certain Catwoman who comes to the Heights, and she... this is post her being hired as an admin. Bright Eyes comes to the Heights and challenges Telamon to a sword fight. And he's like, alright, yeah, well, this is just gonna be another 1v1 that I'm gonna win. I'm absolutely gonna pwn this girl, and it's gonna be really boring, and I'm gonna go back to sequestering myself to the Heights and, like, being up on my perch and being sulky about it. And she beats him. She absolutely beats him. And he's really shocked by it, and he respects her a lot for being able to beat him. And that is, like, the first time that he looks at someone and is like, wow, this is a person. This is somebody that exists. I mean, he'd always seen his creations as people, but not fully. He just didn't really connect. So, after Bright Eyes beats him, they start becoming friends, and he starts coming out of his shell, and the other admins are like, yo, you're, like, actually, holy shit. John, you're coming out of your shell. You're not being all moody and Telemon-y and angry. And he starts to actually heal from the trauma that he'd gone through. So, as he's healing, he and Bright Eyes end up falling in love. And when they end up falling in love, he decides that he doesn't want to be Telemon full-time anymore. He doesn't fully give up being Telemon yet, but he doesn't want to be Telemon full-time. He acknowledges that being Telemon full-time is disconnecting him from people that he cares about, and from... He's got a thing for being defeated, maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. But, yeah, they start, he starts, like, acknowledging that, hey, I'm miserable being Telemon 24/7. This isn't who I am. I'm not the type of person that this has turned me into, and I just kind of want to go back to being myself. So he does, but given that he's a shapeshifter, he kind of, modifies his previous form. There are, like, 3 forms of Shedletsky. So there was young Shedletsky, who was, like, 6'2", very typical sword fighter build. And then when he gained divinity, he shot up to, like, 7'2", and kept that typical sword fighter build. And then the Shedletsky as we know him is, like, 5'9", and chubby, and goofy, and, beautiful fat man TM. So, yeah, he modifies his previous form and, like, lives as Shedletsky, and every once in a while he goes back to being Telemon, and the heights are still active, but not as much as they used to be. Meanwhile, the other admins have their own things going on. Stickmaster Luke and Builderman have, like, an apprenticeship. Noli is the apprentice of Dusakar, and his name is Milo. And this is actually... Milo is not mine. Milo is my friend Fearon's Noli, who has kind of become a whole part of this, too, which is awesome. I love it when my friends, like, collaborate with me on things. But yeah, Dusakar has Milo, and they have a whole thing going on. Doombringer just kind of keeps to himself. He is all about just keeping law and order, and along with Reese McBlocks. They both kind of control the laws of Robloxia, and he's the overseer currently of Bandlands. And he's kind of in his own miserable little... He hates his job. Absolutely hates it. He's always been kind of a loner, and he'd much rather be on a farm, in a cabin, taking care of crops, and just living his life. That's who he was before Codexa fell, and he just kind of wants to go back to that. Stickmaster Luke, unfortunately, after creating the Cataclysm, ends up being banned. And Builderman can't really... He doesn't allow himself to heal from that. He saw Stick as, like, a son. And he doesn't fully heal from Stick being banned. So that's a huge... He starts kind of isolating himself, and Shed's like, whoa, hold up. You saw what happened to me when I did that to myself. You can't do that. Unfortunately, Milo starts delving into hacking in an attempt to create sentient life. And that was actually part of his thesis while he was under the apprenticeship of... Need more of Farmer Doom? Yeah! It's another thing I've never really seen the fandom go through, and I don't know why. Doombringer just seems like the type of dude who would be, like, drinking dark coffee in the mornings and getting up and tending to his chick. I don't know why. He just seems like that kind of dude. But... yeah, so Milo ends up, while under Dusakar's apprenticeship, undertaking hacking and becomes Noli under the moniker of Noli, while he's under Dusakar, and it's all to try and create sentient life as a thesis for his apprenticeship, and it does not go well, and eventually he ends up telling Dusakar that he is Noli, and ends up getting banned. And that's a whole thing. If Fearing were here, they'd be able to explain Milo better. He's not mine, so I'm not gonna really delve into that, but Dusakar also saw Milo as like a son, so they're also grieving. When it comes to Shed, him and Bright Eyes end up having a child, who is 1x1. X1. I'm not going with the four-dimensional being side of 1X, just because I don't think that was really well developed, and I don't like four-dimensional being 1X. But 1X lives a very, for the most part, a pretty happy childhood. By this point, Shed really doesn't put on the alias of Telemon anymore. And he wants to give 1X a better life than he ever got. So he tries his best. He really, really, really does try his best. And unfortunately, when 1X is around like 12, they get sick. And this sickness starts to corrupt them. And through trying to find any semblance of a cure, Shed turns to the Necrobloxicon. And unfortunately, the Necrobloxicon, in doing a spell to try and save them, it makes their corruption worse. And they end up passing away, essentially. Shed is overcome with mostly self-hatred and just self-blame. He tried everything he could. He really, really did, but in his own mind, Shed's a perfectionist, and it wasn't good enough. So he starts destroying himself, and he turns to the Necrobloxicon again to try and get rid of his anger. He doesn't know why he does it. He knows that it's not a good idea, but it's a last resort, and he's just trying to feel any semblance of relief. And instead of going to therapy, and when he takes all of his hatred out, he doesn't remove that part of himself, but it gives him relief. And yeah. And when he takes that hatred of himself out, and all of that pain that he's been feeling, it goes into a ball, and unfortunately, the Necrobloxicon puts it into the last person that a spell was cast on. Which, Shed doesn't know this yet, resurrects 1X as the creation of hatred. So 1X didn't live a terrible life. Telamon wasn't abusive. He really tried his best, and it snowballed. Unfortunately, Bright Eyes and Shed, because of their tensions after 1X passed, end up getting a divorce. They're still very close friends, but they end up getting a divorce. And they live their life just as they would. I know, it's all painful. I'm sorry, I'm like stabbing you in the heart. But this is like literally a year's worth of world building that I have put into this. This is Codexa, and the Robloxia after Codexa is my fucking brain baby. I love it so much. So much. And I love OCifying Shedletsky, because John Shedletsky the man is a terrible person, and I want to separate them. Yeah, so... on top of everything that's happening with 1X, I said that I would mention Elliot later on, and we have reached Elliot. Elliot, oh man, Elliot is the child of Dale Builder, who is Builderman's brother. Unfortunately, Elliot and Lulu, Elliot's sister, are in a very, how do I say this? Lulu is Dale's golden child. Elliot is not. Dale is very abusive towards Elle. And so they grow up in a very bad situation. Elliot and Shedletsky are really close. Like uncle kind of close. Shed is the cool uncle. Builderman is the concerned uncle. Builderman tries his best, but he's very busy, so he doesn't have all the time to take Elle out of the situation with Dale. So when Shed and Bright Eyes and 1X were all still a family, Elle would go over to their house. And Shed ended up becoming like a father figure to Elliot. And pretty much raising Elliot. When Elliot wasn't with Dale. So they, as Elliot grows up, the abuse starts to kind of get worse. And Elliot literally lives in the pizza place. Like, is not allowed to leave, is the manager at this point, literally lives in the pizza place, works 24/7. Very similar and kind of mirroring Shedletsky's training 24/7 with Vera. And at some point, after the whole 1X thing happens, you know, they were raised together like siblings, pretty much. After the whole 1X thing happens, Elliot is like one of the constants in Shedletsky's life, and he hates it. He feels like he's leaning on Elliot too much, especially given their like father-child relationship. But they lean on each other quite a lot, and they help each other. Through the pain that they're both experiencing, and eventually Elle straight just leaves Dale. Keeps working at the pizza place, but leaves Dale. And ends up moving in with Shedletsky. So they have like a full-on parent-child relationship at this point. Shed's adopted Elle. It's a whole thing. Their relationship is really, really sweet. They really, really, I don't want to say rely on each other, but it's, Shed is able to be the dad that he didn't think himself to be with 1X, and Elle is able to have the dad that they never had. Yes, so they have a whole family dynamic, and eventually Shed and Bright Eyes end up getting back together. So that family just kind of comes together. But Dale gets really pissy about it. And this leads into, because this is like a Forsaken timeline. I started creating this when Forsaken was still a thing. So it leads into Elle being removed from that situation with Dale, ends up leading to how Shedletsky gets Forsaken. And he ends up being Forsaken through being poisoned with this, like, god-killing poison that the Spectre gave Dale. And ends up having his wings ripped off. So he doesn't have them in the Spectre's realm. And that's how he ends up in Forsaken. And so, like, Dusakar ends up, because of their guilt with Milo, they believe themselves to be responsible for it. So they end up being taken in their sleep to the Spectre's realm. I haven't really worked out how Builderman gets Forsaken. And Doombringer stays out of the Spectre's realm for quite a while, and ends up being, like, the last of the main 4 admins. And he, along with Bright Eyes and the other admins, are looking for all of these people that have gotten Forsaken. So that's where I'm at with the storyline so far, and I'm still working on it. It's super extensive, but that is what I have so far. And that took a really long time to explain, and I am so sorry. But thank you for sitting here and listening to my exposition. I love talking about my Roblox AU, because it's very weird. It's weird. And it is quite Shed-centric, because I love Shedletsky. I admit it. I am a shameless Shedletsky enjoyer. But, yeah. That is that. I don't know if I want to go back into Redux. So, let's think of something to do, shall we? I would play a fighting, but fighting lags when I stream it. Huh. Let's see here. So, in my poll, my original poll, let's see if I can go find that really quick. That's gonna, no. That's gonna play copyrighted music. No. No copyrighted music here. My original poll, let's see here. Looks like Regretivator was the second thing to win, so I guess we go into Regretivator. Win second place. And I think an update just happened. I could be wrong. Okay, so no, Pest Den Part 2 is on the 11th. But there are new outfits. If it wasn't for the chat lag, yeah, that's fair, that's fair. I think I have pretty well settled on Regretivator. I think this is what we do. And I'm gonna leave the lo-fi on, because as much as I love Regretivator's music, sometimes I don't want to listen to it. And I can't listen to my own playlist right now, because, you know, copyright. I don't want to be sniped. I did join my private server, right? I think I did. Did I join my private server? I joined my private. Thank God. Okay. Private server joined, we're okay. I still have the be right back screen up. Did Roblox just stop responding? Oh no. Oh, uh-oh. Ah, what happened here? Oh god. What is happening to my stream? Uh-oh. YouTube? YouTube? Okay, can I still be heard? Am I still good, or do I need to restart the stream? Uh-oh. I think I restart the